Hello Curious and welcome back. It seems that right now is the season for productions about people who have conned others out of thousands if not millions of dollars in one way or another. And now the time has come for Anna Delvey, also known as Anna Sorokin. The Russian native has made headlines worldwide after pretending to be a German heiress and a trust fund kid and running up debts in the thousands, not only to banks and hotels, but also to her friends. And now her story has been shown in a brand new Netflix series, Inventing Anna. But just how does the show differ from the real life story? How did she manage to scam people? What happened to Sorokin after her sentence? And has she been deported back to Germany? Make sure to stay until the very end to learn all about this story, but before we continue, don't forget to hit the bell and subscription button so you don't miss any of our future videos. Most recently, everyone has been talking about the brand new documentary that dropped on Netflix on February 2nd and which told the story of women that were scammed out of thousands of dollars by a man referred to as the Tinder swindler. If you would like to know more about this scam, then be sure to check out our previous video, but for now, stay with us until the end to learn another real story of another who had scammed people out of cash. On February 11th, Netflix had released a brand new series titled Inventing Anna, which has been created by Shonda Rhimes, the woman behind such productions as Grey's Anatomy and Scandal. Nearly right away, it became the #1 streamed show on Netflix, reaching the top position in many countries. In a similar theme of conning people out of money, it tells the story of a woman who claimed to have been a German trust fund kid and heiress who lied about her identity and racked up debts estimated to be in the hundred thousands. The show begins with a disclaimer that reads, "This whole story is completely true, except for all the parts that are totally made up." While for some this caused confusion as to what really happened and what did not, some pointed out that this was supposed to reflect on the things that Anna told people. But which part had actually happened and where is the woman now? Stay with us until the end to find out, though do beware, spoilers ahead. Those who are familiar with Anna Delvey will know that the story might not be as simple, but for those who are hearing about it for the first time, let's get to know the protagonist of today's video. It was 2018 when a New York magazine story written by journalist Jessica Pressler broke out on the internet and later spread around the entire world. It spoke of an alleged German heiress who was accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from banks, different financial institutions, and her friends. She did all that between the years 2013 and 2017, and a socialite who documented her life on Instagram had hopes of launching a members-only club called the Anna Delvey Foundation. However, as it turned out, they were all deceived. The woman in question was born in Russia, and aged 16, Sorokin moved to Germany with her family. After she was finished with school, for some time she lived in London and Paris before moving to New York and becoming Anna Delvey in 2013. During her time there, she told people that her father was a diplomat or an oil baron and that she was the heir to his fortune. Though in reality, the real-life Mr. Sorokin is a former trucker who, according to Pressler, now runs a heating and cooling business. According to interviews that Anna did later on, she is not close to her parents anymore as they had decided to not travel for her trial, and because of that she called them conservative. As for her move to the Big Apple, it was there that the scam queen had managed to fool the super rich and powerful elite of New York out of more than $275,000. In a 9-episode Netflix series, Anna is played by Julia Garner, who viewers might recognize from such productions as The Assistant and Ozark. The story was inspired by Pressler's reporting on the case of the socialite, and the journalist even worked as an executive producer on the show and is set to release a book about it titled Bad Influence, which has a planned release in June 2022. But just how does the story differ from real life? Some of the details are magnified to make for a better story, and the choices fit to exaggerated lifestyle and the crimes. One of the embellished stories revolved around the journalist Pressler, whose loosely based show persona is Vivian Ken. The series paints her as a disgraced journalist, and although she had in fact reported a story in 2014, she wasn't as discredited as the show paints her to be. Though just like in real life, Kent pieces together Anna's story through the testimony of her friends, ex-boyfriend and acquaintances. With the journalist, who on the show is played by Anna Chlumsky, is concerned, her on-screen portrayal was similar to the real-life story. She too was pregnant while working on the article and wanted to redeem herself after the aforementioned mistake. As Jessica said in an interview at the time, she was enormously pregnant and finished the story weeks away from having a baby, so she might not have been on such a time crunch as her on-screen counterpart. Though it is worth pointing out that later, after the article was released and she had her child, she still attended the trial and even flew to Germany to meet with Anna's parents. She noted in an interview that some situations upon which her character questioned people about Anna were different than depicted, such as having taken place after the article came out rather than prior. When speaking about Sorokin and how she feels about her, Jessica doesn't even know herself, which is also a reason she wrote her book. She often asks herself, is she evil or is society evil? And that is something that she cannot answer. As Presley views this, she was kind of allowed to become the person she did because of the way the world we live in is, and that is something that is fascinating and she wants to explore further. As for Sorokin, besides swindling her friends as depicted, she also scammed hotels, hopping around different expensive ones in the city and leaving the bills unpaid. Hotel staffers would find out her credit cards didn't work and wire transfers she promised didn't come through, or that the proof of them was forged. She would often give staff big tips, even for simple tasks, to make it seem like she had money to spare, and that payment would come just as promised. But just how did she manage to make such wealthy friends? Some had commented that she was just easygoing and managed to connect with people without a problem. Once she had integrated herself in with the art crowd, with her first friend being an art collector Michael Xufu Huang, it had opened her door into the society, especially after travelling to Venice Biennale Art Festival at his expense. Her idea for the members-only club also appealed to many, as it was supposed to have been for the most elite, including gallery space, complete with high-end restaurants and hotel rooms. So much that hedge funds and banks had brought the idea, as according to reports, did many of those who were in the elite circles. In order to do that, she needed to secure a loan. To do this, she created her elaborate backstory in hopes that banks would give her the money without asking too many questions. However, to be on a safe side, those people wanted to speak with someone managing her alleged $60 million trust fund. And while on the show she is helped by Alan Reed, a fictional financial lawyer, that wasn't the case in real life. The one name that existed in the real case was Peter Henke, who allegedly managed the Delvey family's finances. As shown in the production, Anna went to elaborate lengths to obtain the cash, creating fake email accounts in the name of Henke, photoshopping bank statements and using voice disguising apps and a burner European SIM card to pretend to be Peter on the phone. This had paid off and the woman was able to secure a loan from a bank. In real life, there was also another fake identity used, a woman whose name was Bettina Wagner, who was an alleged family accountant. In the trial, this evidence was used against Sorokin to prove that these fake identities proved she had criminal intent. One of the things that the show features that was not the case in real life was her turbulent relationship with her boyfriend, Chase Sikorsky, who on the show is a hustler just like Anna. He is described as a tech bro looking to source money from his app, as well as being Sorokin's cash cow, being part of an explanation as to how she was able to fund her lavish lifestyle. While we do not know who the character is based on, internet sleuths had their suggestions, such as an Australian marketing exec who worked for AOL, David Shing. Others put forward were futurist Ray Kurzweil and Korean-American futurist Hunter Lee Soik. In an interview with Insider when speaking about the show, the real-life Anna had said that the plotlines about her overstaying her welcome on a yacht and racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bergdorf Goodman purchases on another person's credit card doesn't ring a bell. When speaking of her love life, Sorokin said that she did have a boyfriend she travelled extensively with in 2016, but she came up with the idea for the Anna Delvey Foundation after splitting up with him, not while they were together, as the show depicts. Her downfall started in 2017 when 2 hotels had pressed charges against Sorokin for theft of services, and it was at that time that she was also being investigated by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for bank fraud. A grand jury was convened in August that year to consider the charges against the Russian native. A few months later in November, she was arrested by an NYPD officer working for the attorney's office. As for the show, the last 3 episodes centre entirely on Anna's trial, which in reality lasted over a month. On April 25, 2019, after deliberating for 2 days, a jury found Sorokin guilty of 8 charges, including grand larceny in the 2nd degree, attempted grand larceny, and theft of services. A month later, she was sentenced to 4 to 12 years in state prison, on top of being fined $24,000 and ordered to pay restitution of about $199,000. However, what has happened to the woman since then? Is she still in prison? Well, yes, but not where she originally was serving her sentence. Sorokin was released on parole in February 2021 after serving 3 years of her sentence due to good behavior. As for her debts, she used a portion of the $320,000 she received from Netflix for the rights to her life story to pay them off. It was reported that this was the only payment she has and will receive from the streaming platform for the story. Once being out, she continued posting glam shots of her post-prison life on Instagram, on which she still goes by Anna Delvey, and where the press from her story allowed her to amass over 228,000 followers. She has since given countless interviews and made a few bold statements about her experience in prison. On Good Morning America, she claimed her time at Rikers was therapeutic. In March 2021, it was revealed that Anna was arrested by immigration authorities for overstaying her visa. Sorokin was scheduled to be deported back to Germany in March last year, but according to media reports, she remains in custody in the USA due to the fact that through her lawyer, she had filed an application to be granted asylum on the basis of fear of returning to Germany. Despite her lawyer's many attempts to get her released on bond while she awaits the final decision on her appeal after her application was denied, Sorokin remains in custody in Orange County Correctional Facility in upstate New York. As of the making of this video, it is unknown when she will be released or deported. Though despite it being proven that the woman was a liar, many internet users are still in support of Sorokin, as to them it was impressive that she had managed to scam so many people, especially when it came to banks rather than her friends, to the point that she received several comments of praise on her Instagram account. So curious, what are your thoughts on the Netflix series? Have you heard about Anna Delvey Sorokin before? Do you agree with her actions? Was her sentence just? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.